Hey everybody, it's Sam. This week I am just going to do a quick 30-minute kind of video today, just going over various sun salutations. They're one of my favorite things to do. I think that Asheville Yoga Center is very responsible for that in my training. We had a lot of focus on learning these sun salutations. They are great just as a nice sequence of moves to build heat, flexibility, strength. I believe the yogis describe it as almost the only exercise you ever need. You can do them over and over and over for endurance. They provide, like I said before, you stretch and get a little bit of flexibility. There's also some strength going on. And then there's also that mind-body element connecting each of the movements to the breath. So that's kind of my plan for this video, is to just go over the various types of sun salutations that I learned. So you can break these down, you can pause them, come back anytime you like, just to learn a little more about each one. So with that, we'll stand up. And the first one that we will go over is one that I really didn't know much about until I went to yoga teacher training. It's actually the classical sun salutation. So we'll start there. So you can come to the front of your mats, and you can just bring your hands to heart center. And then when you're ready on an inhale, you can bring the arms up overhead. And then exhale to a forward fold. And then we'll inhale here and step back to a low lunge. So you can step your right leg back to a low lunge and drop that knee down. And then you can bring the arms up. That is all on that inhale. It's a lot of work. So then as you exhale, you'll bring the hands to the mat, step back to down dog. Feeling this nice stretch here. On your next inhale, you'll come forward to a plank. And remember, your plank can be with knees up, or the knees can be dropped, either way. And knees dropped actually isn't a bad idea here, because with this traditional sun salutation, you actually lower knees, chest, chin. So we're kind of there already. You can drop the knees, then you lower the chest, and then the chin. So you can kind of stay here in this motion, and then inhale and come forward to your cobra. And then you can exhale, and you can come back to that knees, chest, chin. I'm having a collarbone issue here today, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to inhale and then exhale back to down dog. But you would typically, you lower down, you inhale to your cobra, and then you chin, chest, knees, and back to your down dog. So then when we're here, our next step, we're going to inhale. The right leg will come forward this time, and then you'll lower that left knee to your low lunge, and then you can come up. And if it's always too soon for you to come up, you can bring your hands to the knees, to the hips, even to heart center, or the arms can come up overhead. And then your next breath, you can bring the hands to the mat if you like. Step forward just to your forward fold. You can inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. So very cool. And we can do it one more time. So with this, there's two sides here. So if you just think about doing one side of your body the first time you do it, you actually hit both sides. And by that, this time when we started with that last one, we took the right leg back first. And then after that second down dog, we brought the right leg forward. So you're actually getting that stretch on both sides. So if you just think right back and right forward, you've hit both sides. And then this time we'll do it, and you can do left and left. So you can bring your hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And then we'll inhale, we'll take the left leg back this time. You can drop that left knee to the mat and bring the arms up. And then as you exhale, hands come to the mat. Step back for your down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. And then you can let those knees come down to the mat. Knees, chest, chin. Then slide forward, inhale to cobra. And then you can make your way back, however you like, to your down dog. And then this time, we'll do the left leg forward. Coming in to this lunge. You can exhale, hands come to the mat and step forward to your forward fold. And then inhale the arms up. And then exhale, the hands to heart center. So there you have it. That was actually like I said, the classical sun salutation. That was what it was called to introduce to me in Asheville. So the next thing we'll do is kind of that classical sun salutation, but it's modified. This is one of my favorite variations of a sun salutation to do. I just love it. So you can bring your hands to heart center, and it basically is that last sun salutation that we did, but it's just got a few more steps, a few more places to breathe, so it's not quite as quick. So you can kind of learn these steps. Once you feel comfortable with this, you maybe can try that classical, or maybe you like the classical better. Either way, hands to heart center. We'll inhale the arms up. And you are always welcome to back bend here a little bit in these. And then you can exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale, halfway lift. And then as you in your halfway lift, whether your hands are on the mat or if they're up, and that's why I always say hands to the mat, because some folks have them up. You can bring your hands to the mat, step your right leg behind you, lower your right knee to the mat for a low lunge. And then you inhale and come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes, and you can inhale and step back to plank. And then when you're ready, you can exhale and lower down to the mat. And then we just inhale to cobra here. So coming up in cobra, elbows are bent and they're back. If you're straight, you're kind of almost in an up dog, but not really, and it might put a little too much pressure on the low back. Exhale all the way back down to the mat. You can inhale to plank, and then exhale to down dog. You'll inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, the right foot will come through to the hands, and then lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead, and then exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step up to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. So that sun salutation basically keeps that same concept in mind of doing the same side or cueing the same side as you move through. And by doing that, you actually end up getting the low lunge in both sides. So if you just think, when you first start, either left or right foot back first, and then you just have to think, remember which side you did first, and then kind of go from there. So we'll do it again, just with the left side this time. So when you're ready, we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And remember, hands can be to blocks also, or up on the shins or to the mat. And then this time, you'll bring your hands to the mat, step your left leg behind you, lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead, and then exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, you can exhale and lower down to the mat. Then we'll inhale to cobra again. Hands are under the shoulders, elbows are bent, really engaging the back body to come up. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale to plank, and then exhale back to down dog. Inhale your left leg up behind you. As you exhale, the left foot comes through the hands. Lower your right knee to the mat for the lunge. And then when you're ready, you can inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale and step up to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Then we'll inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Voila, done. So, like I said, that is one of my most favorite salutations to do. Excuse me, I burped. So, moving on in this, Sun A and Sun B will come next. And they are more, they are from the Ashtanga tradition, so they're a little more physical. And I've been just very honest with you that I do not float. I've not really honed those floating skills, and from a forward fold, I cannot levitate myself up into a handstand, which are two of the modes that you traditionally do in the middle of this sun salutation. I don't do that. If you're looking for that, you can find those Ashtanga people. My pal Michael Johnson, he he uses sun salutations in the beginning of his classes, and he can demonstrate for you what that looks like. So you're going to get my version, the non-handstand floaty version, but it works just as well. They get the job done. So you can come to the top of your mat, and for this you'll start in tree, my head, mountain pose. Jeez, it's a day, folks. So you can start here in mountain pose, or samastitihi. And then when you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. You inhale to your halfway lift. You can also here come into your handstand. If you can push up or just kick back and magically land in your handstand, then very cool, go you. Because the goal of that, you'll be up in your handstand, and then you'll just gradually float your body back down and come to a high plank or a chaturanga. So when you're ready, you can inhale if you are not doing that, and just step back to your high plank or your chaturanga. I don't cue chaturanga. I just do a high plank and then lower, because a lot of people don't have the strength in their shoulders to keep this elevated to lower down. So I just think as long as you are safely lowering down to the mat, very cool. And then you can inhale to cobra. I always give the option for cobra, but up dog. So hips are off of the mat. I'm not down. I'm lifted up. And you're just looking here. And then exhale to a down dog. So from your down dog, you would jump and float your hips up, and then magically land in your halfway lift. But I don't do that either. So you can inhale up on your toes, and then as you exhale, you can step, walk, hop, or float, whatever you want to do, to come to your halfway lift here. And then you can exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then you can exhale, hands back to the side for that mountain pose. So like I said, it's one of those things, there are plenty of people on the web who do this like the way it's supposed to be done. But yeah, I'm not there, and I'm not going to try to be there, because I'm not. So, so we'll do this one more time. So, to mountain pose. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then you can exhale, make your way back to your plank, your chaturanga, whatever works for you. And then you can exhale and lower and come up into your up dog, and then make your way back to your down dog. And then on your next breath, you can make your way up to your halfway lift. Forward fold on your exhale. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale back to mountain pose. All right, so we've done 3. Some B is next. This is another where you would still do the floating, the handstand and the floating back to your plank or your chaturanga. Like I said, collarbone issues today, shoulder issues, it's being weird. So I definitely won't be quite hanging out in that chaturanga. But I'm not a floater anyway. And do you make things work for you. It's kind of a tough pill to swallow. There is an ego level with all of it. She's doing it, so I'm going to do it like her. But also those things that you see someone else doing, the things you see me doing may not work for your body. And the goal really isn't to make yourself look like someone else. There are general shapes and an idea of these poses, but it's not going to be the same on everybody because we all have a different body. Like, we're all different people. So you make the pose work for you. You still try to get that same stretch, that same targeted area, but you figure out how you can make that happen for your body. You don't make your body work for this random, for this pose, this moment in time if it's uncomfortable. So for some B, you can come back to the front of your mat and you start a mountain pose here. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead, and you can bring them together if you like the hands, and you can back bend here a little bit. And actually, I will usually do chair in this pose, but you can actually do, if you grab your hands together, you almost come up on the toes. My heels actually lift here. And then you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then you exhale, you can kick up into your handstand and float back, or you can make your way back to your plank, your chaturanga, whatever. And then you can exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. And then you can inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, the right foot comes through to the hands. We're setting up for warrior 1. So back foot to about a 45-degree angle. And then when you're ready, you can inhale and come up. So warrior 1, the hips are going off to the side. Your foot is pointed that way. So you can try to straighten them as much as you like to the front of the room. However, if that doesn't feel good for your pelvis or your hip, you'll notice a little more of a stretch in the hip if you try to get them. You can leave the hips and just try for the top. But usually by trying to rotate your shoulders, the hips kind of follow anyway. And then arms can be up and separate. They can be together and you back bend. They can be here if your arms are tired. Whatever you want to do here. And then you exhale back to the mat. Step back to plank. And then you can exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale the left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left foot comes through to the hands. And then back foot to your right foot sets up for warrior 1. And you don't stay here very long. Typically, it's just a breath. But also, if you're doing these at home, maybe you want to stay here longer and breathe. Very cool. Go you. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then exhale to down dog. And we're supposed to spend 5 breaths here in this down dog. You can look to the front of your mat and you can float up to your halfway lift, or you can step and come up. Exhale, forward fold. And then you'll inhale the arms up and come to that chair. And then exhale, back to mountain. So sun B. The difference there is that you you do both sides when you go through that. So that's kind of the thing you remember there. So I'm not going to do that one again. My shoulder's feeling kind of cranky. But I will show you just a nice little body prayer. I feel like right now especially, we can take a lot of things out on ourselves, and your body is yours, and it's the one you were given. So you should respect it and love it and be nice to it and enjoy it because it's not changing. So this is just kind of a nice little body prayer that Stephanie Keach, I believe, came up with at AYC. So you can do it with that classical modified sun salutation. So you can start with your hands to heart center. And you can think through this. You can say it to yourself. You don't necessarily have to say it out loud. So I respect, I adore, I am humble, I watch, I am ready for the race of life, bring me life, I will be a bridge for others, drawn down to the earth, I can always rise above, becoming stable and strong. See, same side. I am prepared to face all challenges. As I open my heart to God, you can also say the universe or, whatever thing you're into. And then you'll step up to halfway lift. I listen outside. And I listen inside. Gathering the truth. I am the truth. So yeah, that's it. Just kind of a nice thing, nice affirmations there, and just positive words to think on. So those are all of the sun salutations. So we can just take a nice little cool down here because I don't know about you, even in doing these slow, I've percolated some heat and built some heat. And that's the purpose of this. We're supposed to build a little heat. So you can maybe sit up for a moment. You might want to do a bound angle, or you could do a forward fold here, just whatever feels good. So never a bad idea, quite honestly, if you've only got 5 minutes, or you're just what's the one thing I can do? Just one of those sun salutations. It's a great thing to do for yourself each day. You won't regret it. And then if you'd like, you can roll down onto your back. And then maybe just take a little twist here. You can bring the knees to the chest, and then you can let them drop over to the right. It's the only thing, I guess, with the sun salutations, you just don't have a lot of twisting. And twisting, as you know, I will always tell you, it's very good for your spine. So you should always do a little bit of twisting. next breath, you can bring your knees back to center. And then on your next breath, you can drop your knees to the left. Oh, and I guess too, I should say, so with sun salutations, depending on which side of the body you start on, it's kind of what, I don't know, like your goal for your energy is, I guess I could kind of say it that way. So the right side of the body is the more masculine, energetic side, and the left side is thought to be the more feminine, kind of calming, cooling energy. So typically with your sun salutations, you start with the right leg to kind of build that energy and that intensity. And then with a moon salutation, which I did the practice where I was outside last week, I did a moon salutation in there. That's typically to be more calming, cooling, grounding. So you can bring your knees back to center. So just some things to keep in mind. That's not saying that you can never start a sun salutation with your left leg. If you are feeling your left leg, do it. But that's just typically why you'll see most folks start on the right. So you can maybe make little circles or roll around. You could do a shoulder stand if you like, or a plow. I will not be doing those things today for obvious reasons. And then if you feel like you just want to lay here for a few moments in your Shavasana, very cool. Do that. Just whatever shape feels good to you. Making sure to relax everything. And then you can certainly stay here as long as you like. But if you feel ready to move, you can roll to one side of your choosing after waking the body up. And when you're ready, you can join me in a comfortable seated position. Bring the hands to heart center, eyes closed and gaze down. I thank you all for watching this, and I hope learning these different sun salutations just introduces something else that you all can bring into your own practices just each and every day. May you be safe, May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. Namaste.